Good afternoon. Welcome to the August 6th, 2025 Commissioners Meeting of the New York State Public Campaign Finance Board. I'm Barbara Liston, Chair, and I'm joined today by Vice Chair Brian Cole and Commissioners Keisha Gaskins-Nathan, Henry Berger, Esma Bagnola, Anthony Casal, and Peter Kaczynski. I'd like to ask the staff to please go around the room and introduce yourselves. Let's go over here.
Raymond Riley, Co-Executive Director, State Board of Elections.
Brendan Lavello, Deputy Executive Director.
Carl Zillman, Co-Director, PCFB.
Bill McCann, Co-Counsel, PCFB.
Ann Tarpinian, PCFB Enforcement Counsel.
Bob Echols, Deputy Director, PCFB.
Daniel Bonasangue, Deputy Counsel, PCFB.
Kathleen McGrath, Director of Public Information, State Board of Elections.
Skylar Conyer-Kinnaman, Deputy Enforcement Counsel, PCFB.
Brian Connor, Enforcement Counsel, PCFB.
Mark Andrew, Deputy Counsel, PCFB.
Aaron Suggs, Counsel, PCFB.
Kia Dorsino, Deputy Director, PCFB.
Cheryl Kauser, Co-Director, PCFB.
Tom Conley, Deputy Executive Director, State Board.
Kristen Boraski-Sadisky, Co-Executive Director, State Board. Jennifer Wilson, Deputy Director of Public Information Office.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all. We're going to begin our meeting with an executive session for the purpose of enforcement matters. Is there a motion to go into executive session to discuss an enforcement matter? Esma has moved. A second?
I'll second.
And we will now, we need a vote on that. All in favor of going into executive session?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. We have a unanimous vote. We'll now go into executive session for the purpose of discussing enforcement matters. And if there is any action taken, we will come back into public session to report any action. Thank you. We're returning into public session. During executive session, the board voted to refer certain matters to the New York State Attorney General's office. The board also voted to open investigations. The vote in executive session was unanimous in all cases. We'll now take up the minutes from February 25th, 2025 and April 29th, 2025. I'd like to take them up as a package. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Got the second before I even asked for it. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are accepted. Thank you. I now want to turn to our co-directors for unit updates. I'm not sure who we're starting with here. Carl.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, and welcome to the August 6th meeting of the Public Campaign Finance Board. We have several important updates to share regarding the continued implementation and administration of the New York State's Public Funds Matching Program. Since our last meeting, the Public Campaign Finance Unit has remained extremely active and engaged. Our staff has been diligently performing core operational tasks, including bank reconciliations, auditing participating PCFB committees, calculating surplus, and advancing enforcement actions in accordance with our rules and regulations. These will be covered thoroughly in our unit update. In addition to these responsibilities, the recent passage of legislation impacting the PCFB has prompted the implementation of necessary updates. Over the past several weeks, our team has been focused on revising key documents, including updates to the PCFB handbook, our website content, candidate registration forms, and the PCFB regulations. A draft copy of the regulations are included in your board packets and reflect both statutory changes and lessons learned through the recent program activity. I also want to highlight a significant milestone for the program. PCFB successfully administered its first special election under the Public Campaign Financing Framework. This special election took place in Senate District 22 back in May. I'm pleased to report that the staff worked to process the required 3 public matching fund payments to participating candidates within the 30-day statutory time frame. This required close coordination between staff, demonstrating the capacity and professionalism of the PCFB unit to work under tight deadlines. As we continue to audit committees and calculate surplus for those committees who ran in the 2024 cycle, we will also prepare for the 2026 cycle, where PCFB will oversee the administration of public matching funds to our statewide candidates running for office, governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and comptroller. I'd like to take a few minutes to just dive into some of the statistics from the past. So currently in the 2026 program, as of the 4th of this month, there are 89 committees registered in the 2026 election cycle. 2 of these committees are related to the 2025 Senate special. There are 5 statewide candidates, 2 for governor, 2 for comptroller, and 1 for attorney general. There remains 1 undeclared candidate. The remaining have registered committees for state assembly or state senate. In the assembly, we have 46 committees. In the Senate, we have 37 committees. We recently had our July periodic, 345 committees, which includes those committees registered in PCFB for both 2024 and 2026, filed the July periodic. 28 committees of 345 filed late. As of today, 4 committees are still delinquent in filing and have been turned over to PCFB enforcement. Just touch on the SD, the Senate special in Senate District 22, which was held back on May 20th of 2025. This district encompasses southern Brooklyn. 3 candidates registered for the program, but only 2 were on the ballot. A total of 7 payments were made to the participating candidates for a total of $702,481. Dive into the post-election audit, which our staff is currently undergoing right now. PCFB staff continue with reviewing and auditing committees post-election. 333 committees registered with the PCFB in the 2024 cycle. 259 of those are still active. They're broken up into 3 groups. In Group 1, there were approximately 90 committees that did not receive public matching funds. They've received their review, and those are now complete. In Group 2, there are approximately 117 committees who have received public matching funds. They have received a thorough review of their campaign expenditures, over contributions, qualified expenditures, and loans, and are currently having their surpluses calculated. The first of these calculations will be completed by Friday. And lastly, there's Group 3. Group 3, there are 95 committees that were selected for the lottery during a drawing held back in December of 2024, and they're required to undergo a post-election audit. 47 committees from the Assembly and 48 committees from the Senate. In addition, any committee that received over $500,000 in public matching funds automatically makes the entire district required to undergo a post-election audit. Those districts that fall into this category are in the Senate in District 6 and 7. Now for a staffing update. The PCFB has the authority to hire 118 full-time personnel. To date, we have hired 86 of 118. We continue to post and conduct interviews for trainers, auditors, members of our enforcement team, and committee liaisons. PCFB has also created a special projects unit to conduct complex audits and reviews, create templates, formulas, and internal controls. This unit is charged with conducting bank reconciliations, shifting that responsibility from auditors who work day-to-day with the committees. Now for a public information update. Working through our SBOE PIO, Public Information Office, PCFB has received, processed, and responded to numerous PCFB-related FOILs from members of the media and other interested parties. Since the most recent board meeting, we've responded to inquiries regarding the timing of post-election audits, surplus calculations and repayments, disclosure report schedules, and expenditure purpose codes, the confidentiality required in PCFB investigations, and procedural questions about the upcoming changes to the program. On social media, PCFB has several social media accounts where we posted regarding the required 2025 July periodic financial disclosure report, We've also provided important scheduled maintenance announcements for the board applications, and announcement for today's meeting. We have seen a slight increase in followers on all three of our social media platforms, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. PCFB is currently working with the PIO team to draft content for two upcoming social media series, one to highlight amendments to the program that go in effect on August 7th, and another to provide helpful tips to treasurers of committees as they navigate their responsibilities in the PCFB program. Finally, we have an email service where PCFB subscribers have grown 2.3% since our last meeting. We're at 262 subscribers today, and we consistently send out emails announcing upcoming board meetings and changes. With that, I will turn it over to Cheryl Kauser.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As Carl outlined, the Public Campaign Finance staff has been working diligently on many fronts, from implementing the 2026 election cycle that we are in, conducting the 2024 post-election reviews and audits, and then implementing special election in Senate District 22, to continuing to strengthen and build the program out, including with the implementation of new statutory changes. For an enforcement update, the enforcement unit is charged with enforcing the requirements of the program, including but not limited to ensuring the timeliness of campaign financial disclosure report filings, implementing anti-fraud measures for the program, handling complaints to the board, handling investigations, and working with other jurisdictions on enforcement matters. Since our last meeting report, where we gave an update in February, the enforcement unit has collected close to a little shy of $4,000 in penalties for late filing of disclosure reports, conducted an administrative hearing before a hearing officer, which found for the PCFB in a late filing case, electronically filed an order to show cause in the Albany Supreme Court, seeking a judgment for late filing penalties against 12 committees, each whom were served by a process server. We've conducted some external outreach. We regularly present to interested groups. Since the February meeting, we met with the New York City Bar Election Law Committee and talked about our program. With the enactment of the new statutory provisions, we anticipate and will conduct outreach to present to interested groups above and beyond the efforts of our training unit. In regards to the budget, the PCFB again received full support from the executive and legislature of our funding request. The board was allocated $100 million in funding for payments, approximately $14.5 million in funding for program administration. To itemize it, approximately $8.6 million to support our 118 full-time employees in personal service, and for non-personal service, approximately $5.9 million in funds for equipment, supplies, travel, temporary and contractual services, including part of the State Board of Elections software project. The budget was enacted with significant changes to the program with a 90-day effective date, which will be tomorrow, August 7th, 2025. Council will provide an update on these changes when the regulations are taken up in new business. Before we turn to new business in council, I'll provide an overview of the PCFB training unit from February 2025 to today. The PCFB training unit completed a variety of trainings and updates to the program materials for the 2026 cycle and to account for recent legislative programmatic changes made through the budget process this year. New staff received instruction on the New York State law and regulations, PCF program requirements and processes, and general auditing procedures for political candidates and committees. The new staff trainings consist of several sessions, approximately 10 trainings across a 2-week period. The training team has administered 9 rounds of new staff training since February of this year. A special election occurred in May 2025 in Senate District 22. The training unit provided 3 candidate trainings and 3 treasurer trainings to committees on program requirements to fulfill their mandatory training requirement. Several other internal and external specialized training sessions were offered by the training unit this year, including on various auditing techniques and special training for hearing officers on our rules and requirements. The training unit has examined and revamped the presentations for the Public Campaign Finance Program participating candidates and treasurers to incorporate our findings, experience, and feedback from the 2024 cycle. There will be tailored sessions for our candidates and treasurers that are involved in a covered election for the statewide offices, and a separate session for candidates and treasurers involved in a covered election for state legislative office. Additionally, updates based on the recent legislative changes have been made to our internal and external presentations, Intro to PCFB, which provides an outline of the program for staff and interested members of the public. We had to make corresponding updates to the PCFB's YouTube video materials based on the budget, and we also created new videos on key concepts, such as supporting documentation. These videos include a PCFB tailored video on using our electronic filing system web application, an informational video on reporting the receipt of public funds, an explanation video on qualified expenditures, and guidance on reporting such expenses. We also posted a video detailing the process of submitting weekly claims, a separate video on how committees claim contributions for match in their disclosure reports, and a video describing how committees add and upload supporting documentation to their disclosure reports through EFS. These specialized and topical videos provide treasurers and the interested community with immediate access to them as they're posted online. They don't have to wait for posted training. Several documents and resources required changes to align with legislative amendments that were made in the budget. Most sections of our website required updates on these programmatic changes. Both the statewide and state legislative forms for statement of competitive opposing candidate were changed as the competitive criteria was amended. Additionally, all the primers on the program for each specific office were updated to reflect the changes to the program. These tools place an emphasis on our commitment to have very usable materials that the community, our candidates, our treasurers can rely on to have a guide map of the program. A new form was created by the training unit based on the legislative changes to allow a participating candidate in a covered primary to opt out of the program for a covered general election. It's known as the PCF 24. Our public campaign finance registration and application certification forms to join the program were updated to reflect the new range of matchable contributions and to allow candidates with an authorized, approved, and existing committee for the same office sought to be designated for the program use. This new registration form was emailed, not only posted on our website, but emailed to all the 2024 candidates and treasurers. Lastly, the information on our website is being revamped. The outdated information is removed. New information will be up. Everything takes effect tomorrow. PIO had placed a banner on the website in May advising of the effective date of the statutory changes. We also sent an email to all candidates, treasurers, and authorized users about the upcoming changes. Those are several highlights from the unit just on how we are manage some of the statutory changes. And now I will turn it back to the chair to proceed with new business.
Thank you, Cheryl. Are there any questions from the commissioners to our two wonderful co-directors? Anthony? Oh, that was not a hand up. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Cheryl and Carl. We're now going to take up new business. We have 3 resolutions to take up, as listed in your agenda here. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-08, the hearing officer determined for PCFB 25-01? Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous vote. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2509, the late filing penalties and settlement agreement? We have a motion. Do I have a second? Second?
Second.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Oh,
She was an aye.
oh, that was an aye. Thank you. We have a unanimous vote, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-10, the update to the PCFB program regulations? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
All in,
I have a comment I'd like to make.
Peter?
I just wanted to make a comment on these. I read these over, and, while I'm okay with voting for them, I just feel it would be better if the staff and this board could make an effort to write these in a way that people that aren't, say, lawyers could understand. I really think that these regulations are very difficult to go through. I had difficulty reading through them and understanding exactly what they were getting at. I know we do a handbook for people, but I also feel the regulations could be written more towards the layman. I don't know how much effort is made around here. I think, my sense is the lawyers are in charge of writing these regulations, which is fine, but I really think it would behoove us if we had people that aren't lawyers to read them over and see if they can actually understand them and work with them, rather than just putting them out to the public that way, because I found it hard as a lawyer myself reading through them, and I can imagine how candidates, their committees, treasurers, other people in the community that are expected to work with this program are going to be able to read through these. So while the handbook is one good mechanism to give them some access to the information, I think these regs could be done better. I think they could read more easily. They could be something more easily understood by the general public. And I would just urge us to make an effort. I know we have more regulations we're going to be writing to adapt us to the new statutes. And while I know statutes are always written by the lawyers and they're always very hard to understand, I think that's why we do regulations, is to help people in the community understand what the statute says. I don't think these go far enough to do that. I read over parts of this. There's a section in here that I read over specifically that it has 4 different provideds in it. In other words, 4 different exceptions within a paragraph. That's very hard to read, very hard to keep track of, and I just think we can do better. So my message, I guess, is my hope is that we can do better in the future in writing these regulations.
Thank you for your comment, Peter. Do I have anyone that wants to, on our staff who wants to respond to that?
I mean, I can just respond.
Aaron,
I think,
Aaron?
your point is well taken. I think we obviously can try to, and we are lawyers, and I think we need to, realize that not everybody is a lawyer, and that they need.
Yeah, I mean, my suggestion was maybe you could have a group within the office even of non-lawyers who could help the lawyers write these things, and as they're writing them, they can read them, and they can tell them if they understand what the heck they're saying here. And if they don't, then, go back and rewrite it to make it more understandable, but I think there might be a group in the office even that could be used for this purpose, or maybe we use people out in the community. I don't know, but it seems to me we need more effort to make these read more easily and so understandable to the people. Because we do have, this is one of the few regulations that we use, that we write, that are used by a wide community. We have a lot of regulations for vendors. I'm not concerned about that. Vendors have their own staffs. They can read through this stuff. They're going to figure it out. But when we're writing something like this is meant to be user-friendly for people out in the community. This is meant to be for candidates, treasurers, people that want to be candidates, or even people that maybe want to contribute to a candidate so they can understand what they're getting themselves into. I don't think these regulations mean that.
I think we can always be better, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. It sounds like we have a receptive audience to your concerns. Thank you. So we're back to, that was the second. We had discussion comment. All in favor of approving this resolution, 2025-10? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? With no opposition, it's a unanimous vote. Thank you very much. And so thank you, everyone. I'd like to schedule the next PCFB meeting to coincide with the State Board of Elections meeting. It appears the date is tentatively September 10th, 2025. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll move it.
Peter moves. A second?
Second.
Esma. All in favor of adjourning today's meeting?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. It was a unanimous vote. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.